been to a casino before. Meanwhile, my brother is a degenerate. Wait,
You're not
Oh
wrong.
my God, this is gold. This is gold.
Casino trip, full of chips. Wanna flip, double it.
Welcome to the FullofChips podcast, the only chips you'll never lose, where the stakes are high, the takes are bold, and the conversations are always full of chips. With your hosts, Chris the Dice Degen and Craig from Old Bay Craps, you're tuned in to FullofChips, the podcast where we dive into our experiences gambling and stories straight from the casino floor. Whether you're a seasoned pro at the craps table or just curious what the buzz is about, you're in the right place. Each week, we break down the games, talk to the experts, and bring you tips that could tilt the odds in your favor. So grab your lucky charm, stack your chips, and let's roll into today's episode.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 48 of the FullofChips podcast, the only chips you will never lose, with your hosts, Chris the Dice Degen and Craig from Old Bay Craps. Craig, how the hell are we today?
If the drink filled to the brim is any indication, we are stressed, dude. We have got a shit
Stressed.
ton going on in life. It's the good kind of stress, but it's coming from all angles. So we're trying to calm down, make our lists, check them twice, find out if OBC's been naughty or nice now. Just get our shit together and our shit in order. So
There you go.
yeah, big things happening.
Big things.
We'll let the masses know maybe much later, but as of right now, we're just in the thick of it, and we are full steam ahead.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited.
Appreciate.
And I wish nothing but the best in this endeavor. But
Thanks.
yeah, you do need that drink full. What's that drink full of? That's the main question here. I know you got to get your sip in, but then you got to tell us what that drink is full of.
This drink in the lovely Sweet Lou whiskey glasses is our usual, and I went back to our usual. It's the kind that's going to be on a chip or a shirt someday, and that is Bullet Bourbon with a little bit of Diet Coke.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, we'll have to get the merch figured out. Keep saying that, but we'll have to get that figured out. That's a classic beverage. Classic beverage.
What you drinking?
I am drinking out of a tumbler because, again, I don't know why. Today, I don't know what it was. I knew we were recording, and I went to record, and then I started making my drink, and I'm like, idiot. Why aren't you putting it in the glass? Because I literally only use the glass for the podcast, and it's in the cabinet, and I started making my drink, and I made it in this for some reason, because it's just like, I usually make my drinks in tumblers for two reasons. One, because I can put more in it, and two, it's got a lid. And when you have a dog running around, or sometimes two dogs running around that knock tables left and right, you learn to put lids on your drinks.
I thought you were going to say
that's what I did.
Because tumblers, you can nurse that shit all day long.
I don't know what nursing a drink is, I'll be honest with you. Doesn't happen very often.
I could tell you a tumbler will make me nurse a coffee for a while. And it keeps that shit warm for 5 hours. Look, oftentimes we put coffee in mugs, and when you get down to your workstation and you're in the front of your computer and you're starting on work, sometimes you forget the coffee's there and it gets cold quick. So unless you're into that, which I am, I will turn the hot coffee into iced coffee eventually. But if I'm just interested in the hot coffee, I will go with the tall tumbler, like the one you saw last week with the Chaos Coordinator, because I can nurse that for 5 hours, 6 hours. And it'll stay warm the entire time. So
we just gotta get you we might have to get you a heated mug for your desk.
Those are
you ever
expensive.
seen those?
They are. They're like $180. It's crazy. Like, I need hot coffee. I don't need hot coffee that bad. I don't need hot coffee that bad.
I will say though, you know what's crazy? So, you know when you go like out to order coffee and you get it from like a Wawa, like a Starbucks, they're hot when you get them, but then in those like paper cups, I feel like they cool off kind of quick. Now, Dunkin' Donuts, for some reason, Dunkin's coffee stays hot for a while, but nothing stays hotter than McDonald's coffee. I don't know what it is about those cups,
I
but
think I know that.
right, you do know that quite well. But those cups, I don't know what it is. They stay super hot, super long. But yeah, I rarely have that problem where my coffee gets cold. I'm usually on my third cup by the time the first one will get cold.
Maybe it's a special kind of styrofoam because we've all had the plain white styrofoam, smaller 12-ounce cups,
Yeah.
and they don't keep hot long at all.
No, definitely not.
But for some reason, McDonald's and Dunkin', I don't know, maybe they cornered the market on the McDonald's has that. They've cornered the market on the Coke syrup they use.
They have.
No other fast food restaurant has Coke like McDonald's fountain Coke. But I don't know. I mean, maybe Dunkin' and McDonald's have the secret code or the secret sauce for styrofoam.
Maybe.
I used to have a Wawa
Wow.
coffee tumbler. It melted in the dishwasher.
Oh,
Like it
there you go.
melted to the ring that heats up on the bottom. Yeah.
I've done that a few times.
It was
in the dishwasher.
sitting diagonal in the rack, so the bottom part was touching the heat, whatever heat thing is.
Okay. You see, I'm not the type to read directions. Earth-shattering news here. DGen does not read directions.
Yeah.
And that also goes to things that can't go to the dishwasher or the microwave or things like that. Now, granted, the microwave, I don't use a microwave. Like, it's funny. My mother-in-law, they got us a microwave when we moved in, and they're asking me like, "Oh, I'm sure you can't wait to use the microwave," and I'm like, "For what? Don't use a microwave." Like, I use the stove, I use the oven, I use the air fryer, I use a lot of the kitchen gadgets. The microwave is like, I mean, I don't use it very often.
Yeah, it's a reheat only for me. That's all it is. And
I'm not even
sometimes to
reheating
make
it.
the coffee, to reheat the coffee because the coffee got cold because of work.
There you go.
But
You wanna know how I reheat my coffee?
buy new, make a new.
I make more and pour it in.
Right.
That's how I reheat coffee. And to reheat food, I usually do it on the stove or air fry or something. I don't know. But where I was going with that was, I don't read if anything's dishwasher safe or microwavable safe. Don't care.
So as a young teenager, my son and his friend, while we weren't home, decided it was a good idea to see what would happen if you put Hershey Kiss wrappers in the microwave.
Oh, I'm sure that was lovely.
I can tell you it's not a good idea, and it scared the piss out of him. So, yeah. But I have to
I
tell
hope
you,
knew how to use a fire extinguisher.
oh yeah, we also have that fire blanket. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You literally just throw the whole thing over the stove.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I hope we don't have to use that. Yeah, but I wanted to tell you, I know that you've been baking, and not that I'm getting into baking, but I was making one of my signature dishes, which is chili, a double batch,
Okay.
and I use a Dutch oven to make it in, and you know how it is when the onions hit the beef, the smell is incredible.
Yep.
I told you earlier that we bought stuff for cheesesteaks, and we haven't done it yet. I got the sub rolls, all that shit. And I was like, I got to see what this tastes like, though, because I've never had it. And that's the Cooper Sharp. So I took a spatula full of the beef with the onions and put it on a plate, and I got it into like a nice rectangle, and then I slapped some Cooper Sharp on it, put it in the microwave, let it melt just a little bit, and then just ate it like that off the plate. And I was like, damn, these cheesesteaks going to taste pretty good when I make them,
Oh, yeah. Well, you know it. Funny enough. So, the UFC White House card was on this past weekend.
Yeah.
Right? Don't know if you watched it or not, but I did.
Couldn't give a shit.
Me and a couple of my buddies are big into that. So we were watching it, and he lives near a cheesesteak spot that I've been wanting to try for a while. Heard about it on all the social media and stuff. Now, he tells me we're ordering from there. I'm like, phenomenal. Can't wait. So what do? Of course, my classic, right? Cooper Sharp, fried onions, seeded roll, meat. Now, $18 for a cheesesteak.
It's a bit extreme.
It's kind of standard around here, I'll be honest with you. I have never had a cheesesteak so full of meat and cheese. Craig, when I tell you that I couldn't fit this cheesesteak even remotely in my mouth, like, it was so large that I literally ate the outside piece of the meat and cheese first and then had a full cheesesteak to actually eat with the bread.
You have been writing all the hooks recently. There you go.
I have been.
Oh my God.
Gonna have to fit this in somewhere. We're gonna have to segue it in. You know what? When we record, I should just start out with the intro and then we should just get back to what we were talking to.
Well, I figure you just said that you're gonna try to fit it in. That's good enough.
I'll try to fit it in somewhere. That's what she said. Anyway, no, but yeah, good cheesesteak. It was not. I will say it's not as high scoring as people have given it. From what I've been watching, like food reviews and stuff, people have been ranking it very high. I will say it is high, but it is not. It is not in the top. I don't know. I'll say top 3. It might crack top 5, but
I know you consider
size alone.
I know you consider your own in the top 5, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean,
and not the one that you had, because I as I told you, I did not have the right beef because
you gave me the poor
butcher,
man. You give me the poor man's Chris. The poor man's.
No, it was still
steak.
good, but the butcher fucked the cut up, and I didn't realize it until I opened it to cook it.
Yeah, well, it happens, but I don't know. Jim's South Steaks is still the best I've ever had.
Jim's is good. Jim's again. Jim's is top 5.
Definitely.
Right around that 3 mark for me, probably.
When you get the bag and the bag's already like grease soaked, you're in a good place. And then it just eats like cotton candy, man.
Yeah, no, theirs are very, very good. They have very, very good cheesesteaks.
It's sub roll is an important part too. You can't just go with the the right meat and the cheese and the fried onions. You gotta have you have to have the nice sub roll. You can't have some piece of shit sub roll that that's tough or breaks away. Like, fuck that.
Yep. It needs to be a nice solid one that can hold in the grease. Like nothing worse than like a flimsy roll and then the grease just leaking all through it, like, because then it just breaks apart.
It doesn't have to be a thick roll either.
No, just needs to be a good roll. Good roll. See, I like mine seeded. A lot of people don't like their seeded. Now, I'm not saying the seeded makes it, but I will say I do prefer seeded over non-seeded.
Some burgers are better seeded buns, but I got you.
It's each their own, People
pretty
like
much
different things.
We are trying to get back onto the water kick. So I know we haven't shown people we've been drinking it because we haven't. We've just been drinking the alcohol during the shows, and then the when we're done the alcohol, we just fill the rest with the remaining soda.
Facts. I wonder if people who come to join us will drink with us, Craig. Do you think they will?
Maybe.
It
sounds like a thing.
Sounds like a thing, huh?
Yeah.
Should we tell them what that thing is?
I think you should.
I think we should. All right, folks, at home, I'm going to put a picture up on the screen so you can see it, but we're going to be implementing new episodes, plural, hopefully, full of our Patreon guests, Patreon members. All right, it's free to join. The link is down below. But what we're going to do is we're going to do some episodes with you folks at home. Again, you have to join the Patreon, but we're just going to shoot the shit. You can see what the behind the scenes looks like when we record. And if you want to be on there in Patreon, there will be a special section that you can go to. Let us know that you want to be on there. And hopefully we'll have a couple people on different episodes, right? So we'll have like a little round table type discussion. Who knows what we'll talk about? That's TBD. It might be something that you've been dying to talk about. It might be something Craig and I have been dying to talk about. It might be some stupid shit that you saw that morning and you want to talk about. It could be anything. But we'll have a bunch of you on. And if you do want to do it, again, hop in the Patreon. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to get some special membership to be able to come on the show or anything like that. But hop down the Patreon. There will be a special section for you. You can go join it. And you can let us know that you want to be on the Full of Chips podcast. And hopefully the folks at home will enjoy, one, hearing from some maybe not so heard people, and two, just some general bullshit amongst gamblers.
I love it. Share their casino floor stories with us. Sounds awesome.
Oh, yes. It's funny, Craig. I was thinking about this earlier, and I started compiling a list of topics just to have, just in case, you know?
Yeah. No, it sounds exciting.
I'm looking
Glad
forward
to be a
it.
part of
We'll
it.
see. But yeah, if you want to hop in. If you've been on the show before, you've been a guest before, and you want to hop in, feel free. If you want to be a guest on the show later and you want to hop in. Who knows? Maybe your debut as a Patreon member might turn into a full episode of just you. Whoa is right.
Hey, if you also want to reach out to us, fullofchipspodcast@gmail.com. Email us. Email us what you would like. Email us a story. Email us a story and let us know how you were affected or how you played or what happened to you at the casino. Those are the kind of things we want to hear about from everybody. We've spent all this time telling you our experiences from the casino floor. It's time to hear about your experiences from the casino floor.
It is indeed. And Craig, one of the topics we'll be talking about today had an experience that I can talk to about said topic.
Well, I kind of feel like this first topic was geared towards myself, Chris.
Okay.
When I came upon the topic, I was like, am I I'm probably outing myself. And I've been honest. That's what we're here for. Chris and I are not bullshitting anybody. We have never said anything on this podcast that we could not prove, or that we're not telling you that we came out 10 grand winners, 25 grand winners. We play with markers and shit like that. Like we're telling you the truth from how we play. And if you've been watching the podcast, you know that I have not won a lot at this game, but I am learning just like all of you are. So this topic is so apropos. Let's get into it.
And before we do get into the topic, though,
All right.
I do have to out myself quickly.
Oh, shit.
So in the last episode, we talked about betting across. Did we not?
We did.
We did. Well, unfortunately for me, we had talked about that right before I went to the casino. And first off, went up to a new casino for the first time. I did enjoy it. Met up with a buddy who gotten pretty close with over the past few months and whatnot. So John, I know you're watching. It's great to see you. Great to play with you. I wish I would have won. I think you did better than I did. I did horribly. Craig, first time I've ever played on a $5 table. Okay. Ever. Never played on a $5 table in my life. First time. And of course, what did I do when I started out? $10, $15 minimum bets, of course, right? I did do some $5 bets as we got along, but I fell victim to the I'm gonna bet across or I'm gonna bet the inside and gonna be stupid and do all that shit. So I think I need to go back and listen to that episode because I fell victim to the betting inside and the betting across because I watched money light on fire and burn pretty quickly.
So are you saying what we said on the podcast might actually be true?
Well, I can tell you that day it was certainly true. That was certainly true. And you want to know, here's the thing, right? I know a lot of people talk about the idea of going across and going inside and like short rolls are going to kill you. Well, yeah, short rolls are going to kill you. But there were some decent rolls on this table and I was still getting crushed. And the reason I was probably because I was being a little stupid, right? I was
Yeah.
pressing more than I was collecting in the beginning. The problem was that I never got the hits that I needed to fully either regress or to get even on the hand. And I'm talking even after 10 rolls.
Wow.
And it was sort of a social experiment for myself just to see how that, because I rarely play that way. Right. And I figured, you know, if I'm playing at low minimums, why not try it? Because I did have somewhere to regress to, right? I mean, $5 table, you can regress pretty quickly. But yeah, I learned a lesson that day of why I stopped doing that back in the day, because I used to do it. And I learned why I stopped pretty quickly.
I am pretty consistent. I stopped doing that years ago. You know, you can even when we talked to Ian, and we talked about the private table over a year ago. Everybody knows I didn't go inside. I didn't go across. I kept to like the 6 and 8, or I hit just on a number that I saw roll, and I just played that number. So I just stopped doing that. It's such a money bleed. And as you know, on that table we had either 4 or 5 PSOs in a row, Chris. I mean, talk about destroying a bankroll. Phew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry that happened.
It's all right. It was a learning experience. We chalk it up.
I remember the text you were texting me. We were texting back and forth that day, and yeah, it was not happening for you.
No, it was quite the lengthy ride home, I can tell you that. But it is what it is. It happens. And I was not up in the session, Craig. So I might have been up on the first shooter, but very little, if that. But that brings us into why craps players give it all back in a session. Now, in my case, I wasn't up ever, so I had nothing really to give back. But Craig, don't we find it common that a lot of people give it back in the same session? And the reason I brought up my story was because when I got to the table, there was a gentleman next to me who was talking about how maybe an hour before we got to the table, there was a couple legs of the ATS hit and a full ATS hit. When I got to the table, he had nothing in his rack, and he kept buying in when I was at the table. He gave it all back.
Yeah. And we've seen it a lot with upfront. We've seen it a lot with people who, after they've hit a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
That's most times when we've seen them just give it all back. I'm not going to bring it up again. I've talked about that April in 2025 so many times that I did give it all back. And, you know, but let's get into the real reason craps players walk out of the casino with empty racks and empty pockets. It's not bad luck. It's not the dice. It's not even the table, Chris. It's us. It's us. It's our brains, our impulses, you know, our delusions, and our complete inability to stop when we're ahead. I think there's plenty of reasons we give it all back. We're probably only going to hit a handful of them. You could go on probably 10 reasons long why we give it all back. I would say the number one reason is because of a hot roll.
Mm-hmm.
Because a hot roll doesn't feel good. Well, a hot roll does feel good, but it doesn't just feel good. It rewires our decision making. And, you know, a shooter hits a point, Chris, you feel rewarded. They hit it again. You feel chosen. They hit 5, 6, 8 points, and now you feel unstoppable. And you think your bankroll is unstoppable. Well, guess what? Your brain starts telling you that you're on a streak, you're in sync with the dice, and you're due for more. What is the number one thing Chris said? It's probably going to be on another shirt that Chris says all the time. Nothing's due, dude. Nothing is due at the craps table. You are not due for shit.
Yep.
You know, but all that stuff that your brain's telling you, none of it's true. You know, this is the moment when players stop managing bets and start chasing feelings. And we all know about chasing. Chasing's never a good phase to be in. What are some things that you think of that when you think of why people give all their money back?
So I think it's the chase, like you just said. That's one of the big things. And it's not even the chase of the fact that they were down and they're trying to get back,
Yeah.
right? What are they chasing? They're chasing the high of bigger wins, right? That's what they're trying to chase. And it kind of goes into my main premise behind the whole, like, giving it back is typically because you change the way you're playing or you change your plan once you do start winning, right? And not necessarily that's always a bad thing, but how many times, Craig, do we see people who start winning a little bit and then magically they turn into a different person betting wise, right? Typically, you're maybe table minimum bets. You might be, I won't say you're going all the way across, but let's say you're inside, you're collecting, maybe half pressing or pressing by 1 unit, whatever it is. And then, you get a nice long roll. Maybe you double up your bankroll. Next thing you know, you see this person going quarter level across, full press again after that. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened to how you were just playing? Like, that way got you up. Yes, you could have won more money if you played differently, right? But you didn't. And like Craig said, nothing's due, right? A hot roll's not due after a hot roll. So you start playing differently, and then you start watching that money evaporate.
No, you're totally 100%. And I was going to go into another area, but you went right into my third area of this topic, which is it's the bankroll mirage. It's the psychological trap that convinces players that they're up when they're not. They didn't come with a plan, so they forget their buy-in. They ignore their losses and count only the chips in front of them. Right? They totally lose fact of and lose sight of what's on the table. And how much they've spent, like in the prop section. They totally lose sight of that. Because again, they don't have a plan. They don't have their chips set out in their rack in a certain way that keeps them on task with where are you in your bankroll. They're saying things like, I'm playing with house money. No, you're not.
Yep.
You're playing with your money that the house, briefly returned to you. But the mirage itself, and we're not talking about the hotel, we're talking about the bankroll mirage here. It convinces players that they can risk more because they're ahead, even when they're not. I've looked down at many a rack sometimes, and I'm like, whoa, where the hell did my bankroll go? And oftentimes it was times, Chris, when I didn't have a plan when I came in. I was simply doing let's see where this goes, and it didn't go very far. And you look down and you're like, holy shit. Like, I had a bunch of green chips and I've got a shit ton of red and white because I wasn't paying attention.
I think that's a big part of why a lot of players give it back is because they know they're up, right? It's not hard necessarily to see that you're up, especially if you catch a good roll early on in your session. It's not hard to tell that you're up, right? Because you may know what your starting rack looked like. And again, for a lot of players, this is why we talk about the bankroll management, knowing what's in front of you, all that kind of stuff, because you know exactly how much you are up, right? But a lot of people lose track of how much they're up. And then that creates the problem of, right, playing with the house money, playing with profit, whatever you want to call it. And then next thing you know, they look down and they're magically down. And it's like, where'd it go?
Significantly.
Right? And the reason why they don't know where it went is because, they started getting a little bit maybe more aggressive than they normally are. They deviated from however they want to play and caught a couple short rolls. And next thing you know, that profit you had is gone. And now you're behind. And then that's finally when they're like, oh, shit, I should probably, or maybe I should change how I'm doing, or maybe I should go back to what I was doing or whatever it may be. But at that point, I don't want to say it's too late, right? Because you still have more of the session to play potentially, but
yeah,
you gave back everything you were up plus some, right? You fed right into what the casino wants you to do.
Yeah. We were talking about the illusion, the mirage, but I think a hot table also creates an illusion of momentum. It's where the craps players love the idea of momentum. We all do, but they believe that the table's in a flow. So when the roll is hot, players assume, the heat will continue. And what do? They press harder. They expand their bets. They take on risks that they would never touch at the start of a session. The problem, I don't know. The dice don't care about momentum. We've said that before. Rolls when they end always end. Players give it back because they mistake momentary success for a permanent trend. That's not happening. And that's when you look down at your rack, like you said, and you're significantly down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We've never heard of people looking down at their rack and like, I'm down a little bit. No, they look down and they're like, oh shit, where did that go?
Yep.
It's the worst feeling.
It certainly is. And I think one of the common problems with that too is I think the environment doesn't help, right? Whether you're
Absolutely
at a casino with people you know, people you don't know, whatever it may be, right? You see other people collecting bets, right? And I was prey to this when I first started because I was always wondering, why are they collecting more than I am? Right? Craig, you have an $18 six. I have a $42 six. You're getting 41. You're getting 21. I'm getting 49. And it's like, well, how did you get there? And then, to play catch up, you start pressing and pressing. You forget the collect piece of it and you just press. Next thing you know, 3 6s later, well, congratulations. You're at 90 now. I'm also at 90. So we're both collecting 105 in the next hit, right? Yes, but for me to get to 90, I collected twice on the way there. Whereas, somebody who started lower, they're press, they haven't collected, and that 6 doesn't hit again. And they're like, well, shit, I should have collected, right? I shouldn't have pressed it because there's more money out on the table than they actually brought back. And I think that happens to a lot of people too, especially when coming off a hot roll, they think hot roll's coming again, right? Like, you have to treat every shooter reset, independent, go again. Now, I'm not going to say that I haven't gotten more aggressive when I am up. I certainly have, right? But to me, it's a calculated risk that I'm taking on specific shooters, specific players, or a specific move that I'm trying to pull. Like, I'm not going to sit there and just go full degen because I'm up a little bit, or up a lot of bit for that matter even.
But you're right about the hot roll, because that hot roll is what created that illusion of momentum and kept the person just either pressing harder or doing bets that they would never even normally do. And you can tell because they don't really know where, like, the pressing's all over the place. It's not just a systematic press, which is what we're talking about when we talk about bet progression. Like, if you talk to Chris about and just had an interview with Chris and you said, Chris, how does your bet progression go on the 6 and 8? You're like this, spitting out like this, like boom, boom, collect, press, collect, blah, 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 blah. They're $18. They're collecting the 21, hits again. They're probably collecting again, hits again. They press a unit. Maybe they collect, maybe they don't. Maybe they press another 2 units. Then they're collecting. Like, it's all over the place, and they're wondering why they're not making significant money. Is because their pressing structure is all over the place. But you're right when you say, the social pressures at the table. There's definitely that. There's definitely you're part of a table of a group of people. Blackjack can be the same, but really, even with no matter how many people are there, it's just you and the dealer, right?
Yeah.
It's just you and the dealer. But at a craps table, we're all affected by an individual person and not the dealer. In blackjack, everybody's affected by whatever the dealer's flipping over next. We lead by the shoe. But when it comes to the craps table, all the bets are independent of each other. The person throwing the dice, we don't know them, they don't know us. Is the crew going to get involved and tell them about their throw being, you got to hit the back wall, or, you can't throw too high. You do it again, we're going to have to switch gears. And it's like, I've been at those tables where people were told, we told you that if you didn't hit the back wall, we would take the dice and pass them. And they do that. And it's like, that's such a momentum killer,
Yeah.
But the social, I think that's part of the social pressure. But there's also other social pressure at the rail. There, craps is the only casino game where strangers become teammates. We've seen it. You become teammates with complete strangers, and you all influence each other heavily. You may not think you do, but maybe you have a lot of experience, and when you're going to the table, you're very calculated in what you do. Sure, you might be able to be the exception to the rule, but for the majority, you're all teammates with a bunch of strangers. And you play and you stay longer than you really should, because the table's cheering, maybe the shooter's hyped, the energy feels good. Nobody wants to be the person who leaves before the next big roll. Nobody wants to be the person who drops out first. But the player that gives it all back, they don't want to break that social momentum, but they wind up with nothing in their pockets anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I think that might lead into one of the last points I had for this particular topic, which is, of course, we have to talk about the one more shooter curse. You've talked about it before on different episodes, but it's the gambler's version of the one more episode, right? One more shooter becomes one more point, one more come out, one more press, or buy-in. There's no natural stopping point, and there's no, there is only the moment you finally run out of chips.
Yep.
and that's when you give it back, because you're not defining your own ending at the table. We've been on plenty of coffee runs where most likely majority of the times we should just stop playing in the middle of it, because coffee runs just typically don't go well. And that's been my experience, that coffee runs in AC don't go well. Like, you really should go light, and you should really go precise on a morning coffee run. And maybe you have to play dark on a morning coffee run. I don't know. Maybe that's the solution going forward. But we all know that we tend to make probably the majority of our money in afternoon and evening sessions. But I don't know. What do you think about the one shooter more? Like, I'll just stay one more shooter.
I think that's the biggest downfall. And I think ultimately it leads into the fact that there is no exit plan, right? Because if you're going to sit there and say one more, you didn't have an exit plan starting, right? And, we've talked about win percentages and win goals and all that kind of stuff in multiple episodes, right? We don't just talk about it because, oh, look at these two, they have win goals. Like, no, it's an actual thing, because if you don't have it, what happens? One more shooter. Oh, one more shooter. Oh, look, the profit you had is gone, right? It's hard to win in the casino, okay? It's hard, right? Ask anybody who's been doing it for a long enough time. It's hard to win. So when you do win, walk away, right? Be done. Don't, one more. Well, guess what? If that shooter went on the heater of a roll, you missed it. Sucks. Okay? Guess what? That story of, the guy after you who left, or after you left, went on a 100 roller or even a 30 roller. No. Guess what's going to happen? Even people might call this confirmation bias, whatever you want to call it. Rarely does that one more ever work out, right? If you would just stop playing that one more, you'd have more money in the long run than if you would have stayed and caught that 30 roller or whatever it may be, right? That one more roll, or that, I think I might stay just a little bit longer. Stick to your exit strategy that you had. If your goal is 20%, if it's 30%, whatever your goal is, hell, if it's even 10%, right? And I know some people are going to, well, I had to drive to the casino. All right, fine. Make your win goal, make it worth your while driving there. And don't say, well, 100% is worth my while driving there. If that's worth your while, then you probably shouldn't be playing, or you need to reevaluate how you are playing.
I think part of it is people think they have to win it all in one session. And it's like, dude, do you know that the casino's open 24/7 in Vegas, and in other places it's open 24/7? Like, There's always something going on. Like, you don't have to try to win it all in one session. You could win a little bit, walk away. Guess what? You could play 3-4 times in the same day. 3 to 4 times different sessions. Win a little bit at a time and stack it over time. But people don't think that way. They think about, oh, what's this session going to be like? You know, and they wind up wasting their entire bankroll. And I know because I've been there, and because, you know, there is a pressure there. Now, there's a pressure with the tier multipliers. Okay, so you're there for like a 3-4 day trip. Yes, there's a pressure of what can I do in a 3 to 4 day thing. But what makes it easier is that we're playing 3 times a day. So it's like, okay, if it doesn't happen in the coffee roll or coffee run, okay, fine. Just don't go full degen in the coffee run and save it for the next session. And then maybe like the afternoon session is one that had the heater.
Yeah.
But it's like, even if it has a heater, you have to control yourself at that point and decide when are you going to walk away. Because if you don't walk away, then you're the one waiting for the table to end it for you. And players don't lose because they're unlucky. They lose because they don't know when they're done.
Yep. It's funny, Craig, that what you just said was like one of my quotes that I was thinking about when we were talking about this topic, right? Is that most gamblers don't lose because they never win. They lose because they don't know what to do after they win.
I could not agree with you more. Case in point, when I was at AC, I don't know when it was, when I hit that fire bet, it was fantastic. It happened. It was exciting. There were tons of, it was a full table. I was fortunate enough to have 6 other, I think, AC crew on the table when it happened. So it made me feel good. We went to go to Bobby Flay's and we ate, and then we all dispersed and just kind of went our separate ways. What did I do? Walked back to the casino, stopped at the table. To me, I felt that whatever a couple of hundred above 2,000 I was at, I would just see what happens like an idiot. Lost that on one roll, Chris.
Yep.
Walked back, and it's
it happens.
Why? But why? Why does it happen, man?
Yeah.
Because you can't stop yourself. It's a difference between a true gambler who has a gambling problem is someone who's can't stop the fix. They have to chase the fix no matter what. But what we're talking about is things that are actually coachable.
Yeah.
You can actually be coached and learn discipline. And once you can learn discipline, you can self-discipline yourself at the table, and you can have a plan, and you can stop yourself, especially after when you're up, after a good win. And and I guarantee if you do that, you're going to be sitting there in the after report. We talked about an after report, Chris, on another episode about when you discuss things, how it went, but you're going to feel a hell of a lot better knowing that you walked away when you were up.
Yeah. Yep. You certainly will. You certainly will. And Craig, you know what's funny? Those after action reports that you're talking about, I think sometimes they can be somewhat detrimental depending who you're having that extra after action report with.
You are 100%, because if you're having it with people you trust and people that have your back, you know that the after report extends to just the amount of time it took you guys to eat and have some drinks, because after that, it's not discussed again. But when you wind up putting it on social media, no matter what your social media preference is, or if you start talking to people that you just know but aren't really friends with, but you just know them, Chris, that's when everyone thinks they can play your session better.
Oh yeah, everybody. Everybody thinks, I would have did this, I would have did that. Oh, what'd you have? You were on the table and you didn't do it. So why didn't you then? Right? Like, it's crazy to me how, how they talk about the Monday morning quarterbacks, right? When you're watching football and stuff. Like, I can't tell you how many times, especially on social media or specific people, that, like you said, right, you're maybe not super close with, or you don't trust them a ton, whatever it may be, like, everybody tells you that they could have played your session better. Then I guess, one, why didn't you? And two, yeah, you could play my session better, and then I'm sure I could have played your session better too. Why could I have played your session better? Well, guess what? You have the benefit of hindsight, right? Everybody wants to talk about how they could have played it better, and it's usually from an ego perspective that they could have played it better than you because they know what happened already, right? They're talking about it after the session is over, after they've already heard what happens. If I told you, Craig, that I was going to go on a 30 roller, well, yeah, you're going to start pressing from the start. Of course you are, right? I've never, like, it gets me all the time when, like, you talk to somebody and they're like, well, I would have did this. Now, what'd you have? Congratulations. I've never seen you play that way once in my life. I've played with people a lot who would be like, well, I would have pressed this to this. I would have had my 6 at 3,000. That's great. I've never seen you have a 6 at 3,000. And I know for a fact more sixes have been rolled on a roll that you've been on than on that roll. So, like, what are you talking about, right? Everybody wants to talk about it from the, you should have done that. You should have did this. Guess what? You have the information that I didn't have at the time.
Well, they instantly become a craps professor who apparently knows exactly what you should have done. And it doesn't matter how the session went, what your plan was or that they weren't even there. People will always tell you how you could have played it better. And I mean, what are some reasons that you think that people really get into it? Because I think ego has a lot to do with it. But let me hear your thoughts on what you think really drives why people just have to ruin a good story. Especially 100% of the time when it's true. But they got to ruin it anyway. But they can't just say, "Awesome, man! I'm happy for you."
Never. No, it's ego. Ego is probably number one, right? Why? Because they really just want to hear themselves sound better. Like, they could have done this. They would have had their bets here. They would have collected this, blah, 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 whatever it may be. It's all ego driven, right? The main thing is, though, that they're forgetting. They're the one who's telling a story in their own head that, one, never happened, and two, had zero risk involved in it, right? Especially when these people who are talking about how you could have played it better weren't on the table, right? Their money wasn't at risk ever, right? They're just sitting there telling you what you could have done or what you should have done. Meanwhile, again, they have no money out on the table. They weren't there. They didn't know what was going to happen next. They know now what happened next because you told them this person did this, this, and this. Then this shooter did this, this, and this. This shooter did this, this, and this, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But, Craig, it all stems from ego, right? They don't have the pressure of being at the table. Again, their bankroll wasn't involved. Their emotions weren't involved. The only emotion is the high horse that they have to sit on now to tell you how you could have played it better.
I think there's two sides of the ego, though, because I think that the one side is your win threatens their ego, right? You tell someone you won, their brain immediately starts comparing your successes to their losses. And instead of saying nice job or great job, you should have pressed more. Sounds like you left a lot of money on the table. I would have taken odds there. Translation, your win makes them feel average. So they rewrite your session to put themselves back on top. And I think the opposite happens too. I think your loss makes them feel smarter. If you tell someone you lost, they pounce, right? They pounce and suddenly they have all the answers. Oh, you shouldn't have chased. You shouldn't have regressed. You shouldn't have walked after that second shooter. They're not analyzing your session. They're protecting their ego by pretending they would have avoided your mistakes. Yeah. They can't handle that you played differently than they would.
Yeah. Well, it's because, in their head, right, they think the way they play is the best, right? Again, everybody's a master in their own opinion, right? Everybody's got their style of playing, their way of playing. And are some better than others? Sure. right? But in those moments where either you won more than them, well, if the 7 would have came sooner, I would have won more than you, right? Again, it's stroking the ego. That's what they have to do. And I think that's the main thing that all this comes down to is it's typically an ego-driven aspect, right? Like you said, it's either inflating their ego. It's both ways. It's inflating their ego, right? Because if you lost and they didn't, well, they're happy because you have less money than them, which is a very, very shitty way to look at it.
Absolutely. I mean, craps players are deeply attached to their own style, whether it's light side, dark side, hybrid, conservative, press heavy, whatever. So when you tell them how you played, they judge it through the lens of their own system. If your approach doesn't match theirs, they assume yours is wrong. And it's not logic, it's identity. But look, I mean, people don't tell you how they play your session because you care about they care about your strategy. Fuck no. They tell you because your story triggers their insecurity and their fantasy and their need to feel in control.
Yep. They want to be a part of the action that they weren't a part of.
I love that part.
They want to offer, their advice, or they want to make themselves feel more important or at least heard or something, right? Because they may have not been there and you were there, and they're trying to live vicariously through you, but their way of living vicariously through you is doing no wrong because, again, right, they have the benefit of knowing exactly what happened at that time. So they're able to, you should have pulled your bets down. You should have regressed. You should have turned them off after, that happened or whatever it may be. And it's like, well, yeah, I should have done that, but you don't do that. And you know what the funny part is? Because I've actually challenged people on this before. When somebody has tried to analyze my session and been an asshole about it, because you know me. I'm sure the listeners at home know me by now. Like, I will give it right back to you. Especially in an instance like this where like you're purposely trying to make me feel worse about a win or feel even worse about a loss or whatever it may be, just because you want to have your opinion thrown out there. And like, I will clap back very, very quickly. And I've done it before. One person in particular, you do know this person. Quite a few people who are listening know this person. Had a good roll, right? And after the roll, he pulled up to the table and somebody was telling him about the roll that I just had. And he looks at the rack and goes, well, you should have made a hell of a lot more money than that with that kind of roll. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. First of all, hello. Haven't even talked to you. Second of all, you don't even know what I started with. You don't know what I started that roll with. You just know what I normally buy in for. And you see a little bit more than that in the rack. But you don't know that I started that roll with virtually nothing in my rack, right? You don't know that for the first 10 rolls of that roll, I couldn't place any bets unless I shoved more money out of my pocket, which if I told you I did that, you would have said, well, why do you do that? You always talk about not doing that. So like in their mind, it's a win-win for them because they're either going to, bash me for one thing or bash me for something else. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there wanting to bash them over the head.
You're 100% because when I did that fire bet table and I hit the 5-point fire bet, I started with 140. I didn't even have a proper bankroll to buy in with. I started with 140 and I actually had a talk with myself. And if people were close enough, they probably could have heard me talking to myself like, all right, this is all up to you, man. You're the one with the dice. So, and just like you did on that roll that I think you're talking about, or at least one of them I know that you're talking about, is you had to hit a couple of points in order to get some more money to play.
Yep.
That's the simplest part of it. But people want to look down at your rack and like, oh, you should have made a lot more with a 5-point fire bet. Really?
Yeah.
Were you there? No, I wasn't there. Okay, yeah, then shut the fuck up because I don't need your opinion. Your opinion doesn't even matter. You weren't there. I can't imagine. I'm sure that again, you've played more than I played. You've been playing longer than I have, so I'm sure you've seen people who actually try to do this ego shit at the table that you're at, and not just somebody you told at a later date.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you have no point but to address them down right then and there. Because the thing is, your session is your session. Your decisions are your decisions. And the only person who actually lived that moment at the rail was you. Nobody else. So everybody else can fuck off.
Yeah. And like the last point you made, right, about like it's your session, right? It is your session. So if somebody is trying to, mock you by going over you and say, oh, you could have did this, you could have did that, guess what? Just ignore them, honestly, right? And if you are somebody who does that, stop doing that, right? Stop being that person who's going to be like, oh, well, you could have did this and you would have saved yourself, or you should have done this and you would have made a hell of a lot more money. Yeah, okay, great, fantastic. Guess what? You're an asshole. Stop doing it, right? Because, first of all, nobody likes you for doing that. And the only person who may find some sort of joy or benefit in that whole thing is you and your ego, but you look like a dick to everybody else around you. Like, that's what it is. That's what you look like. Why? Because you weren't there. And if you were there, fine. Your betting style might be different than my betting style, right? Sure, you made a little bit more money on that roll than I did. I lost a hell of a lot less on that PSO than you did. Do I come up to you and be like, haha, did you see that 7 come out? Yeah, you lost. Yeah. No. Why? Because there's no need for that.
They literally punch somebody if they were to do that to me.
Right? But it's the same thing. Like, if you really think about it, if I came up to you, right? Let's say you're 160 across and I'm 66 inside. PSO, bang. You lose 160, I lose 66. I come up to you and be like, haha, you lost 160, I only lost 66. So by doing that, I made 96 more dollars than you. Or I made, 80 something dollars more than you, whatever it may be. It's the same premise, just reverse roles of, oh, well, you should have turned your bets off. Or you should have pressed to this. Guess what? You should take that chip stack and shove it where.
Why is it every time we get heated, your first thing is always say you're an asshole, and my thing is always to say shut the fuck up. It's such a weird dynamic between the two of us. Maybe it's the Philly versus the Baltimore. I don't know what it is.
Maybe.
But I think together we don't give a shit and we don't put up with shit.
No. See, here's my thing, right? Like, when the you're an asshole thing, you're attacking me, so now I'm going to attack you.
Right.
Right? Because, like, I find attacking somebody's personality quite distasteful, honestly. Like, I think it's kind of shitty. Like, now, if the person's a shitty person, then, it is what it is. I'm just calling a spade. But, like, if you're going to come up to me and approach it from that angle, well, then I know that you are so small in the brain that that's the only way that I'm going to get through to your head. So, like, I'm out psychologicing. I don't think that's not even a word.
Put it up. He just made up a new word. Psychological.
Made up a new word. I'm psychoanalyzing you before you even have the chance to be an asshole towards me, and I'm gonna hit you where I know that you'll actually comprehend in the pea-sized brain that person has.
That reminds me of the drunk Charlie Brown, and that session where I think I was shooting, and we talk about it all the time. Like, dealers need to shut the hell up. The stick needs to shut the hell up. And when we're rolling, just fucking shut up. And this person doesn't shut up ever. And I think after it was a short roll I had, and they said, oh, you only had so many rolls. Couldn't even hit an inside number. I said, maybe if you shut the fuck up, I could roll better, because all I heard was your fucking mouth while I was rolling. And it's like, I know it sounds harsh to maybe people that are outside of the East Coast area about how we treat other people, but you get the real shit on the East Coast. Like, we don't fuck around. And the fact that when we're up in Jersey, we're up in Jersey. We're Baltimore and Philly up in Jersey with a little sprinkle of New York that come down and play with us. So no, we don't fuck around. And if you're fucking with us, we're going to fuck with you back.
Yep.
You know, we're if we're all supposed to be trying to win money from the casino, and we're all trying to create some kind of camaraderie, why would you go out of your way to be a dick?
Yep. we people who don't actually know us are probably like, wow, these guys are such jerks. Meanwhile, like we're really nice people. Like
we're like some of the nicest people in the group.
Probably.
And courteous.
No, we might be stroking our own ego now, but like genuinely though, like that only comes out if you bring it to us.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Like
we do not.
You bring that type of energy to me, I'm gonna give that type of energy back to you. You bring loving energy and like friendly energy, that's what you're getting back. View me as a mirror.
I love this.
Whatever you bring is what you're getting back. So you bring asshole vibes, you're getting asshole vibes back. You bring lovey-dovey vibes, you're gonna get lovey-dovey vibes back. Because that's just how it works.
I love this tangent that we're on, and I think we should go into, even though we didn't plan it, I think you should go into the FOC FOS Award.
All right, Craig. So for that FOC FOS Award, we all know the World Cup is going on, right? Everybody knows. And if you don't, well, you live under a rock because it's happening in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. But I have gotten some heat recently. Now, for the folks who don't know, I am an avid fan of soccer, as we call it, or football, as everywhere else calls it, right? But I got heat, all right? Remember when we did that top 5 athlete list?
Yeah.
And I put Lionel Messi as number 1.
You did.
And I said that he is without a doubt the best soccer player of his generation.
What did I text you last night after their epic win?
You did text me last night saying something that I was right or something. I said
I concede to your number 1. He is amazing.
Yes. Yes, you did. That's what you did text me. Yes. But I've been catching some heat, not from people in the craps community, but been catching a lot of heat for making statements like that because I said it on the podcast, but I also firmly believe it. And in my soccer circles, I talk about it also. And nothing made me more joyful today other than the fact that it cost me money on bets because Cristiano Ronaldo fucking shit the bed. I mean, Messi scores a hat trick last night. All right. World class. Dude actually almost scored 4 goals, but he was just offsides for the 1. Whatever. He still scored 3. All right. You got Kylian Mbappe putting 2 in the net. You got Harry Kane putting 2 in the net today. You got Erling Haaland putting 2 in the net. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't have a shot on target. And I can't tell you how many people, Ronaldo's so much better than Messi. Ronaldo's so much better than Messi. Shove the international goal stat up your ass. All right. Just because Ronaldo has more international goals than Messi does not make him a better player. Okay. Ronaldo is literally, for a while, the only player who could do anything on Portugal. Yes, he is very good. Messi is in a class of his own. He is better. So the FOC FOS Award goes to those who call Ronaldo the best player and Cristiano Ronaldo himself for costing me money today. Because Messi's better.
There you go.
Messi is so much better. And anybody who wants to debate me, I welcome it. I welcome it so open arms, and I will give you, again, mirror vibes. I will give you the same energy back. If you want to come in all hot and heated that Cristiano Ronaldo is a better soccer player, you can. Okay? You can do it all you want. You can't argue it when you look at the facts. Okay? You can argue with your emotions, but when facts come to facts, Messi is a better soccer player than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Perfect. Perfect. But if you're trying to put anything positive on it, Chris, it would be how you encourage other people at the table. We're bringing it back down. We're taking off, he's got his own award and he's happy to get it and hug it and know that he's a piece of donkey do. But we're talking about encouraging people at the craps table. And I think it's time for our favorite segment, the top 5.
The top 5. But right before I roll that intro for the top 5.
Wait. You just missed it. You were looking down. I just hit my head on the wall.
You okay?
I said top 5. Boom.
Dang. Before we get into our top 5, though, I will have to say, if you do want to debate the Ronaldo Messi thing, okay, one award Messi will never get is the FOC FOS Award. So Cristiano Ronaldo is in a class of his own because he's the only one who's gotten that so far out of those two. But, Craig, back to actual business. It is time for our top 5. And our top 5 today, Craig, is the top 5 ways that you can encourage people at the craps table and not be an asshole to people at the craps table. We want to see encouragement, right? We don't want to see the chip rail quarterback. All right, I don't need it.
Right.
Nobody wants it. Let's be encouraging. Craig, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go into my number 5.
Go to it because we've talked enough about things that go wrong in a top 5. We talked about things that help people lose money or lose sight in a top 5. But this is encouraging. This is about fucking celebrating and being there for your fellow craps player.
Yes.
So what you got for number 5?
My number 5 is be the person at the table people want to stand next to. So don't be that guy that's going to, analyze the roll after it happened. All right. Be the person that's going to cheer for others, thank the dealers, stay composed during bad times, but also celebrate wins and not be boastful and bragging. By being that person, you're encouraging people at the table because they actually want to stand next to you because of the positive vibes and energy that you bring. Your attitude is more enjoyable for people than the outcome of the session.
I think my number 5 goes along with yours. So, all right, my number 5 is celebrate every hit like it matters. Small win, big win, doesn't matter. You win $21 on an $18 6, it deserves noise. Energy keeps the table alive, and people feed off of it. We always talk about positive energy at the table, and this is it.
I like that one. I do like that one. My number 4 is, again, another way to encourage players. Be respectful of all different playing styles, right? Some people are going to play light. Some people are going to play dark. Some people are going to press. Some people are going to collect. People are going to play all different ways, right? In order for you to encourage others, be respectful of all the different playing styles. There's many ways to play the game. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's only your way.
I love that because I didn't have it in my top 5. And it's something that we talk about often. So I feel remiss that I missed it. All right, my number
Greg,
4.
Before you get into your number 4, I'm very sorry. Very sorry. The folks at home might love this.
Breaking news. Breaking
news. All right. So I was just checking my phone because my brother called me. All right.
Okay.
I have to call my brother back because my brother is in a casino right now.
Love it.
So what can I corrupt him with? Let's find out.
Oh, God.
Live for the Full of Chips folks to see at home.
There you go.
Hey, no, you're live on the podcast. What's up? You're on the podcast, yes.
So, I got done an event, and I have a $25 voucher.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with this because I've never been in a casino.
So
You have.
So you have $25 in free slot play.
So what do I do?
So you got to go to a slot machine. You got to go to a slot machine and go put it in the slots.
Okay. So I have to redeem it somewhere?
At the reward center.
Is this going to be content?
It's content. Craig is thoroughly enjoying what's going on right now.
There?
Craig is here, and the whole Full of Chips family is listening to what we are telling you to do.
Make it quick. I don't want to wait.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Listen.
I've been to a casino before. Meanwhile, my brother is a degenerate. Wait.
You're not wrong.
Oh my God, this is gold. This is gold. Listen, you got to go, Mike. You got to go to the reward center.
Do we know what we're doing with this? Up your dress, by the way. I've never been to a casino before, and so this is like, Chris, I don't want to waste your guys' time.
You're fine. Listen.
Oh, you're not
wasting
to me,
and then I'll hang up. All right. You got it, Mike. You got to go to the reward center. Okay. It's in the back left corner near the Excite Center because I know Parks Casino like I know the back of my hand.
Kicked out.
Just don't film any games.
Here, do we have to be in line?
Probably. That's how lines work.
Sorry. Mr. Flame was ate shit. My God. Yeah. I think I threw my back out. Oh my God. Are you...
So yeah, listen, go redeem the $25 voucher.
in line?
Perfect. And then you're gonna go pick a slot machine that you like.
Huh?
You're gonna go pick a slot machine that you like. All right. You're gonna put the credit in the slot machine, and then you're gonna just push the button and hope you hear ding 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 ding. Yes, just like that. All right.
Are you recording the screen?
No, they're just seeing me talking to you. They can hear your voice though. I will. Don't worry. Look at my content creator over here is telling me how to create content.
Listen, I understand the content game. You can tell everyone to follow my design account.
All right. Anyway, good luck and let me know. Listen, if you hit, you got to call me back. All right. All right. Find a slot machine, put that in, and just press away. Just smack the machine.
All right.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you and thank the team. Where's there?
The whole Full of Chips team. We're behind you.
100%.
Wow. Sorry. That was just too exhilarating because
That was.
he called me and I declined the call. And I told him, I said, I'm busy. I'll call you back. And he goes, I'm in a casino. And I was like, well, shit, I got to call him back.
Well, 100%. 100%. Not that you may remember, but we're on number 4.
We're on number 4. Thank you.
All right. My number 4, compliment smart decisions. Nice pullback. Good discipline. Solid move staying clean. Players rarely get credit for restraint. A little acknowledgement keeps them centered.
There you go. I like that one. That's a good one. All right. My number 3. Keep energy positive during losing streaks. Yes, it's hard to be positive when the dice are not going in your favor or the cards are not going in your favor or whatever it is not going in your favor. But when the table is cold, negative energy spreads like wildfire. Stop complaining about shooters. Stop blaming people. Stop constantly talking about losses. Positive energy isn't going to change the dice, but it will change the experience and help those around you.
You ain't kidding about negative energy. More often than not now when I go to the local, I really try, and sometimes I'm the only one, Chris, that just puts up dealer bets. If I got a 6 and 8 up, I do it. I always do it with a dealer bet. And it's just like, I'm like, come on, let's bring the positive energy, guys. Let's do it. All right. My number 3, hype the shooter with confidence, not pressure. A simple dial it in or you've got this boost the vibe without turning the shooter into a nervous wreck. Encouragement beats expectation every time.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right. My number 2, support new players. You were once a new player. You know what it's like. Be supportive of those individuals or even less experienced players at the table. People get overwhelmed by the layout. Stop criticizing mistakes that they make. Answer questions they have. Explain bets. Don't be judgy. All right. Help them understand. If they make a table etiquette faux pas or whatever it is, don't be rude. Just explain to them what they should be doing. Be welcoming at the table because you may create a future enthusiast of craps.
I love that. I love that. The best experiences I've had, even in losing sessions, are when I start talking it up with the person next to me. And if I'm at stick left 1, I'll talk to the person to the left of me at stick left 2, but I'll also be talking to the stick. And then, talk to the dealer too. I mean, it's a customer service industry. So chat it up, it doesn't hurt and it makes the experience better. All right. My number 2 is acknowledge the grind, not just the glory. Someone recovering from a rough roll, someone sticking to their plan, someone staying calm after a loss. That deserves encouragement too. It keeps people from spiraling.
I love it. I love it. Uh-oh, Craig.
Shit. Did he call him back?
He's calling back. I told him to call me back if he hits.
Yeah.
Okay, I figured They gave me a card and I didn't know what to do with it,
Oh, okay.
but I figured it out. Now that I'm putting in my PIN,
Put in your pin. There you go.
this is so much work. Okay. I hit enter.
Yep.
Available amounts, 20 buckaroos. That's what my thing was for.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. So now what you're going to do, you're at the slot machine, right?
I don't know what I'm at.
It's all right. Don't matter. They're all the same. They all suck. You're just going to, so flip the screen around to me so I can see it.
I think it just ate my money. Joking.
No, it should say credit on the bottom right-hand side.
I'm spinning.
You're spinning. There you go.
Do you just hit this fucking button like all the time?
Welcome to playing slots.
This is dumb. Your stuff is much better.
Thank you.
Ringing endorsement for Craps and Blackjack.
With this. Good luck. Okay.
Spin. Keep spinning.
Trying. Okay, I got +1. I got 3 free games remaining.
There you go.
Ooh, there you go.
Spin it again.
This is I hate this. This is dumb. I'm not a girly with this. I feel like I'm a poker player.
You probably are a better poker player, yeah.
I got 2 free games.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, what does your credit say on the right-hand side, the bottom of the screen?
$4.25.
All right, so you've lost 15 and change already.
This is idiotic.
Keep spinning.
I don't even know what I'm fucking doing.
Welcome to the world of casino gambling.
Wait, I won $54.
All right. Well, hold on.
This is me too.
All right, stop. Turn the phone around. Turn the phone around to the screen. He just hit for $176. Mike, hit the fucking cash out button. Hit the cash out button. I don't
It's
know.
on the lower
I'm
left.
looking.
It's usually on the lower left.
Collect ticket. Hit
A
it.
winner
Yeah.
on FOC
Christopher.
Live.
Show me that.
$180.
Go straight to the cash.
Yeah.
Mike, go straight to the cashier and put the 180 in your pocket, brother. Congratulations, you're a lifetime winner on slots.
I have another credit of 25 buckaroonies.
Oh, then put that in the machine and keep slapping, brother. Come on.
Don't put the
God's sake.
180 back in the machine.
Yeah, don't put the 180. That stays in your pocket. That goes to the cashier.
You know, let me see.
Take a look. Listen, if you got no more credit, you want
Walk away.
$180, go walk away.
Oh my God, that's great. Someone thought I was 38 years old. I have to, with this $180, I have to go get Botox. Tell your friends how fucking old I am.
He's,
You
he's
just did.
25.
So I'm going to run and go get Botox.
For the folks at home, there's my brother on screen, in case you don't believe what's going on.
You're awesome.
Dollars together. So thank you.
For you, man. I'm proud of you. Welcome to
You
gambling.
literally,
Wait,
You
so I think
literally-
I think it ate up my thing.
It's fine. You're good. Listen, walk away from walk away.
I know, no, but Christopher, if I had another free $25,
Yeah.
you know what? I should have took more of those vouchers. I could have took like a whole handful.
It's okay. Listen, don't get greedy, right? We just talked about this on our episode about being greedy. So don't be greedy. All right. Take the 180, go to the cashier cage. It's big. It's on the far left wall. It says cashier on top. Go over there, cash that in. They're going to hand you $180 in cash, and you just won.
leave the
It
casino.
says a free plays available. Always player.
Oh, well, if you still have plays, keep smacking that button.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, keep smacking the button.
Literally what I was telling you.
I'm sorry. I'm too
But don't-
excited for you winning.
But did he cash out the 180 first?
Yeah, it's in his pocket already.
Okay.
Oh, this is a lot of work. I need to go write emails. Like, free play available.
Keep
Keep
playing.
going.
Free play.
Free play, baby.
Claim your $25. Wait, is that gonna charge against my thing that I just did? I don't
No.
claim now. It's the 25.
Yep.
Oh my God, my pin again
Yep.
in there. I feel like Grandma and Pop Pop. This is insane.
Killing it. It's Pop Pop watching over you. Giving you that dub.
Fucking load.
Encouragement.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna type in $25 because they don't have that as an option. Okay. Confirm. I'm using my last $25.
Perfect.
Go for it.
Spin her up, baby.
Free play rewarded. Spin. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, bro. Okay. $13 left for the credit.
You're spending $12 a spin?
When I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just hitting it random. I have 4 free spins left. I want to walk. I just got another 2 spins. I got a 1 spin. Holy fuck! Am I gonna get another 1 spin? Another 3 spin? 7 spins total so far. One's another spin. Fucking slaying this shit, bro. Another spin. Holy fuck! I should have played at your fucking bachelor party.
You should have.
Another spin. I keep on fucking hitting this.
All right, wait, hold on. Stop hitting.
6 spins. I got 6 fucking.
How much money have you? You have to be getting some money here.
Well, I'm at $816.
No. That's the minor prize, I'm sure.
Oh, grand prize is 5,320.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the spin again.
All right, keep spinning.
Well, I think I double spin. I just got 10 free spins, bro. Jackpot activated. What the fuck is that?
Oh, Spinorama! Spin that shit.
Dude, spin
Hey,
it.
I got 15 free spins. You should, Chris, this would have fucking went viral.
It's gonna go viral. Don't you worry.
We did it tomorrow. We should have
Shorts.
screen record me. Actually, don't. I don't want to go to
Shorts.
jail. I don't want them to take my.
Yeah, we're not gonna
They're not
screen
gonna
record,
take
but
your
don't
money.
worry, your audio is being picked up by the feed.
Okay, I'm at 14 free spins, everyone.
Fantastic.
Someone last year at this event won 12K off the 25 buckaroos that they got for free.
Well, you gotta beat that then.
Dude, I gotta retire. I'm fucking over this shit. People thought I was already 38 and I'm 25. Clearly, I have to retire. Okay, I'm not winning anything anymore. That's upsetting.
It takes 30 spin.
Okay, it looks like I'm stuck. Just flying through the free spins.
Okay.
How do
Keep hitting it.
They don't tell me the money yet. Do you have to get done your spins?
The free spins, yeah, you gotta finish them. I think. I don't know. I don't play slots, so I don't really know.
This is diabolical. I'm gonna be honest. But you
You're
know,
not
I'm
wrong.
really happy that I didn't just go home.
You won $180. Worst case.
45 bucks. I won 45 bucks.
All right, cash out. Hit the cash out.
Fucker keeps on moving. 57, 75, 77, 113, 115, 120. Let's fucking go. 122, 124. Got 124 bucks.
Cash out. Cash out.
Collect.
124 bucks.
Collect. Show me that ticket.
Bro, I got 125 bucks and $180.
All right, so that's $305. Go to the cashier's cage. Hold on, let me screenshot this for the folks at home. Let me screenshot this. I'll lay it over for everybody at home. All right. So now go to the cashier's cage and cash in. You're gonna get 300 and oh wait, hold on. Let me get this one. Bang.
Wait, can you see it? Can you see both numbers?
Hold on. There we go. All right. Go to the cashier's cage.
See the center? Their signage is great.
Fantastic. And go collect your cash, you big winner.
Nice.
Just pull it out. That's fine. All right. I'm going to get back to the pod, but congratulations. Great win.
Congrats.
Team, I really appreciate them. And this is, tell them that I was a virgin. Well, a virgin at this. And I made 300 bucks. And it's
There
because
you
of
go.
them.
The whole
Love it.
Full of Chips community was behind you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Have a good night, Tank. I'll talk to you. Wow. What a
Wow.
legend.
Wow. Brother DJ came through.
Brother DJ.
Proved our point of the episode. He walked
Facts.
away.
Wow. He walked away.
That's awesome.
Kid just all right. For the folks at home, let me just say this. I know we have to get back to our top 5 here. But for the folks at home who don't know, my brother has never gambled in his life. I don't think he's ever stepped foot in a casino in his entire life. I will say what he thinks like about my crap stuff and all that. He thinks it's a little silly because he doesn't really understand it, and it's not his forte. All right. So, but he was at Parks for a networking event tonight, and he had to call to figure out how to play the free play. Well, he turned, I guess, $40 in free play into 300 and change. So good for him. Good for him. Good for him. And he's walking away. And I will probably tell you he's probably going to be a lifelong casino winner because he will probably not step foot back in a casino ever again unless he has got another networking event there. But
Hey.
props to him. Good for him. Just I mean,
That's
what
awesome.
an interesting guest appearance there. See, for the folks at home, that could be you if you join the Patreon. The link is down below.
That could be you. You could become a
You
winner.
could tell us that story. Anyway, Craig, back to our top 5 ways to encourage people at the craps table. My number 1 way, and we just did it.
Right.
We celebrate wins, both big and small. Not every win has to be a hand-paid jackpot. Hit a point. Roll a number you got pressed up, whatever it may be. Celebrate those wins.
You couldn't be more awesome with that number 1. My number 1 goes right into related to yours. Remind people they're part of the table, not alone at it. A quick "we're with you, we're rolling together" turns strangers into teammates. Craps is communal, and encouragement is the glue that keeps the table connected. And it goes beyond craps. It goes right into slots. When your brother gets on and he fucking slayed it in slots, which both DJen and I can't fucking stand that game, but we encourage anybody who wants to play with it, and they win. They're winners. Winners.
They're winners.
We had a winner who walked away, Chris, and we can't ask for anything more proud from the FOC than to have somebody walk away when they're up.
Yes, yes. I need to thank you, Craig, for indulging that, as well as for the Full of Chips listeners at home. I hope you guys lived vicariously through that just a little bit, because you see, that's what encouraging does, right? You encourage somebody at the tables. You don't give it back, right? Like, that whole thing was basically a summation of our entire episode of getting up, walking away, but being encouraging of somebody who might be new or whatever it may be. Craig was encouraging. I saw him, right? I already know there's people at home who are sitting there like on the edge of their chair or on the edge of their driver's seat when they're driving, listening to us. Like, come on, little brother DJen, hit that bonus, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But be encouraging. And that was awesome. That was a sick impromptu thing for the podcast, but that was pretty cool.
That was awesome. We owe him a big thank you.
All right, Craig, tip of the episode. What is our tip of the episode?
I think this plays right into what we just experienced. Take pride in your play, not the tables play, not the loud guys play, not the fantasy version of what someone else thinks you should have done. Your decisions are the only thing you control at the craps table and beyond, as we just saw, not the dice, not the noise. Taking pride in your play means owning your pace, your bets, your discipline, and your boundaries. It means shutting out strangers who want to rewrite your session and refusing to let the table push you into choices that aren't yours. When you take pride in your play, you walk away, win or lose, knowing you acted with intention. You stayed true to your plan, your bankroll, and yourself. That's the one edge the casino can't touch.
I love that tip. I love that tip. Brings me back because, when I used to play sports a lot of the time, I was always told, my dad would say it, other people would say it, but mainly my dad would always say, your game is your game and your game is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't control what other people are doing. You can't worry about what other people are doing. You need to worry about what is in front of you, what your game is, and you always need to take pride in how you play, whether you win or lose, right? Got to take pride in it. So I love that tip, especially with what we're talking about today. Great episode, Craig. I really enjoyed this one. Hope the folks at home did as well. If you need to reach us, FullofChipsPodcast@gmail.com. Full-length episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Short-form content on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And finally, the Patreon. The link is down below. Again, if you want to be featured on some of our episodes or you want to take part in the round tables, there will be a special section. You can go down there and let us know that you want to be in there, and we will bring you in. Craig, take us out on episode 48.
We exposed why players torch their winnings, why everyone suddenly thinks they're your personal craps consultant, and why betting with purpose actually matters, and why taking pride in your play is the only real flex at the table. So the next time you're at the rail, remember, your chips, your plan, your session, and absolutely nobody else gets to rewrite it. Keep your bets sharp, your standards high, and your energy loud. Until next time, honor your plan, own your session, and stay eternally full of chips.